I make the following ruling. The appearance of Mr. Van Wyk is postponed sine die. That's 1. 2, the evidence leaders will address the commissioners on the documents contained in the evidence bundle for Mr. Van Wyk and the statement bundle for Mr. Van Wyk and the voice and video files contained therein. If Mr. Van Wyk wishes to file a supplementary affidavit to clarify any of the material on which the evidence leaders have addressed the Commission, he will do so on or before 6 July 2026. If the evidence leaders want to recall Mr. Van Wyk for questioning on any issues after considering his supplementary affidavit, they will give him at least a week's notice if in any subpoena they serve on him. This ruling is by agreement.
Thank you, Chair. If I can then start taking the Commission through the evidence, and maybe at the outset, let me clarify that you can put the postponement file away for now, and there should be 3 more files. A short file of the statement of Mr. Van Wyk, and then 2 volumes of an evidence bundle. The first will run to page 419, and the second will run to page 888.
Ms. du Plessis, I assume that since this is about your client, you may wish to stay, or not?
Commissioner, thank you very much. I wish to stay.
Thank you.
And sorry, Chair, I should place this on record, but although it's not part of the ruling, we've undertaken to provide Ms. du Plessis with a transcript of today's proceedings by close of business tomorrow. So that she has it to take her client through. Chair, then some clarificatory points at the start. The first is that we have undertaken in our discussions with Mr. Van Wyk not at this period to deal with not to deal with the SAPS Medicare Tshwane district contract. We understand that Mr. Van Wyk is preparing a detailed statement relating to that contract, and it will be made available to us. And we hope to get it by the end of this week. But I won't be touching on it at all today. Then there are a number of companies that will feature in what I will touch on today, and I should just clarify who they are. The first company is Medicare 24 Holdings. That is Mr. Van Wyk's company. It is to be distinguished between Medicare 24 Tshwane district, which is Mr. Matlala's company, which is a franchisee of Medicare 24 Holdings. Then there is a company called Anubis, A-N-U-B-I-S, Protection Services. That is a security company of which Mr. Van Wyk is a director, and we understand him to be the key player of that company. Then there is also Cat VIP Protection, which is the security company of Mr. Matlala that we have encountered previously. There is one further point of clarification I want to make before I begin, which is that there are two sets of WhatsApp chats that are included in the evidence bundle. The first is the chats extracted from Mr. Matlala's phone, the chats between Mr. Matlala and Mr. van Wyk. They start at page 1 of the evidence bundle. And the timestamps on those chats are correct South African times. The software setting extracted those chats with South African times. There is a second set of chats which run from page 559 in volume 2 of the evidence bundle. Those are the chats between Mr. van Wyk and Mr. Julius Mkhwanazi of the EMPD. Now, on those chats, unfortunately, the chats were extracted using UTC, which is that 2 hours time difference between South African time.
And you say these are from whose phone? From Mr. van Wyk's?
From Mr. van Wyk's phone, and their chats with Mr. Mkhwanazi. Now, the time difference is not an issue, save in one narrow respect that we will address later. But just, I should clarify up front that, when it says 7:15 in the morning, the South African time was 9:15 in the morning for those chats, not for the Matlala chats. Then I think the best way to start is with the Regulation 10.6 notice that was served on Mr. van Wyk last year in October, and to which he responded in an affidavit on the 2nd of December. And because we are not, much of that, much of what was included in that notice addressed the SAPS Medicare contract, and because we're not going to be dealing with it today, I should highlight the parts of that notice and the statement which we will be dealing with. And if I can ask you then to start at page 22 of the statement bundle. And the questions that were asked of Mr. van Wyk relating to chats with Mr. Matlala that we will be dealing with today are the questions that are at 3.1, 3.2, 3.5, and 3.6. And if I can take them sequentially, Mr. van Wyk was asked to address an exchange of messages between himself and Mr. Matlala on 7 February 2025, and the relevant chats in that regard start at page 152 of volume 1 of the evidence bundle. And there you'll see at the foot of page 152 that on the 7th of February, Mr. Matlala forwarded to Mr. van Wyk one of these sort of news reports that I think we've seen in several other chats already. And the headline is Breaking News, NPA ID Guns for National Police Rogue Unit. And in capitals, the NPA Investigative Directorate ID raids National Police Commissioner Fani Masemola and National Crime Intelligence Head Lieutenant General Kumalo officers after serving them with notices of arrest. This comes after an investigation lodged by Parliament's Police Portfolio Committee. Now, we've seen that report before. I don't want to dwell on it, but what I do want to dwell on is the exchanges that follow. So if we go down to page 153, you'll see that Mr. Van Wyk's response to that report was not good. And Mr. Matlala then corrected him and said, it's actually good. My person is going to be a national commissioner now. And Mr. Van Wyk responded, I remembered you told me something like that. So in the face of the report about the troubles of General Masemola and Lieutenant General Kumalo, Mr. Matlala thought that his person was going to be a national commissioner now. Now, Mr. Van Wyk did address this in his statement, and we see his response at page 8 of his statement. And on page 8, paragraph 4.2, he says, regarding the WhatsApp communications from Mr. Vusi Matlala regarding the articles in the National Commissioner, I made it clear that I've never been introduced to high-ranking police officials and that Mr. Vusi Matlala never introduced me to any high-ranking SAPS official. Mr. Vusi Matlala made it clear on numerous occasions that he had contact with high-ranking officials, but he never mentioned their names. And I was never involved in any meetings except operational meetings or discussions with any of them, apart from Brian, as explained herein above, and that relates to something involving the Medicare 24 SAPS contract, which we're not addressing. So his version was that Mr. Matlala made it clear that he had connections with high-ranking SAPS officials, but he never said who they were. So he wasn't in a position to, by inference, he wasn't in a position to know who Mr. Matlala was referring to when he said, my person will be National Commissioner. There was a second chat on that day, which Mr. Van Wyk addressed, and that was the chat at 1936 on 7 February, page 153. And there, Mr. Van Wyk said to Mr. Matlala, so it was George that set up the sting with the Hawks. And he explained what that chat related to at page 7 of his statement. Where he said, the WhatsApp communication marked, the 4.9 is, refers to the annexure to the bundle, but it's this WhatsApp communication. The WhatsApp communication does not relate to the SAPS contract in as far as I know. I have had previous business relations with George van der Merwe, which related to close protection services, which was not a constructive business relationship and which I terminated. So he is identifying George, who set up the sting with the Hawks, as George van der Merwe. Now, Mr. van der Merwe was the general manager of the Optimum coal mine that was run by the Gupta family. And if we go to CJC 302, there is a video that we should play, and we have it flighted now.
Is that CJC?
CJC 302.
The video is there.
The video is CJC 302, where Mr. Van Wyk appears to be introducing Mr. Julius Mkonazi to George.
Ekurhuleni, he's the head of the EMPD on this side. Hi George, just a quick video. I want to introduce you to General Julius from Ekurhuleni. He's the head of the EMPD on this side. I think this is a person I would love to introduce you so you can have a one-on-one with him so that your transport problems can be sorted out. He also have all the contacts for Tshwane in JMPD due to his rank and everything. So yeah, I would just like to introduce you to Julius, and then we all can get together and you guys can talk, and it's a good connection to have.
And we would be interested to know what the introduction of George van der Merwe to Julius Mkhwanazi was designed to achieve.
And what evidentiary material do we have on the company that you said was what? Belonged to the Guptas, but you need only answer to that if it's relevant to everything else.
Yes.
That
this is after the Guptas had left the country.
Okay,
These events
all right.
take place after the Guptas leave the country. Mr. Van der Merwe is, well, is best known for his role as general manager of the Optimum coal mine, which was the mine that the purchase of which was the subject matter of the Public Protector report back in 2016.
All right, thank you.
It's a matter of public record, but we do, obviously, for one thing, we have the Public Protector's report from 2016.
Thank you.
The next chat that we raised with Mr. Van Wyk is at page 22 of the statement bundle, which refers under 3.2 to an exchange of messages on the 25th of February. And that exchange is to be found at page 195, at the foot of 195 of the bundle. And again, it starts with a video which we should play. Mr. Matlala sends to Mr. Matlala. That video of a man wounded inside a car riddled with bullet holes was sent by Mr. Van Wyk at 13:07 on 25 February. And it is preceded, if we go to page 195, by two messages from Mr. Van Wyk. The first is at the foot of 195. This guy also had an issue with George. This guy's name is Max from Today Destiny. And we've established that the video is a video of a man named Maxwell Mlangeni, who was the owner of a company, who is the owner, he survived that gun assault. He's the owner of a company called Today's Destiny Logistics. What followed in the exchange is, if we go down to page 196, Mr. Van Wyk said, "Do you know what is his surname may be?" And Mr. Matlala said, Moyo. Mr. Van Wyk said, thanks. And there was then a photograph. And the photograph, and underneath the photograph, Mr. Matlala said, Temba Moyo. The photograph we've actually identified as the photograph of a man called Mr. Thomas Moyo. He is the general manager of Today Destiny Logistics. He's not the person who was shot, who was the owner of Today Destiny Logistics, who was Mr. Maxwell Mlangeni. And the shooting took place on the Bethel Road south of eMalahleni, relatively close to the Optimum coal mine. And then we see at page, we see at the start of the chats that Mr. Van Wyk said this guy also had an issue with George. Mr. Van Wyk was asked to address those chats, and he did so at page, I've now lost my reference. He did so at page 8 of his statement. No. At the foot of page 9 of his statement, paragraph 6.2, and his response on pages 9 and 10 was, the WhatsApp communication from 19 to 23 mainly relates to a photograph of a person I was informed by Mr. Matlala as Mr. Temba Moyo, who was shot. I'm also involved in the private security industry, and as such, as part of many WhatsApp groups relating to this industry, this photograph was circulated on one of them. I do not remember which one. It's for that reason I sent it on to Mr. Matlala. We emphasize the person who was shot wasn't Mr. Moyo, it was Mr. Maxwell Mlangeni, and he was described by Mr. Van Wyk as Max from Today's Destiny. We would like to question further if the occasion arises.
I'm assuming you would also want to question him on what he meant by the guy also had issue with George.
Indeed, we would. Then the next set of issues on which we asked Mr. Van Wyk to respond are the issues at paragraph 3.5. They were issues which we thought related to cash transactions.